This is the Slow Wardrobe. Come and have a look. Hello, welcome to episode 130 of the Slow Wardrobe podcast. My name is Linda. In this episode, I will show you my latest knitting and crochet antics, an update on the sock knitting marathon that I've had embarked on to get 5 pairs of socks ready in time for Christmas. It's going to work, but I haven't finished them the way I wanted to by this episode. And then we're on to Layercake, where I am styling the new Joan jacket. I'm wearing the Joan jacket here today with the check side, the flannel side out, and the magpie linen side in. I'm also wearing my reversible slackers, also in the magpie with the check on the inside, but lots about that after this first update. So let me tell you what I've been up to in knitting and crochet and how I did, as I already feared, managed to derail myself these last 2 weeks. I've still got my Westnit's Mystery Knit Along shawl hanging here because I noticed how well it goes with the silver sparkle of the love tunic. The love tunic I'm wearing in the next part of the episode together with this outfit because they really go well together. But that's just me dreaming about Christmas outfits and what I'm going to wear on Christmas Day and on New Year's Eve and whatever. I still haven't decided, but you'll hear me wax lyrical about that in the next section. I'll definitely be wearing this outfit that week, almost entirely that week. I know what I'm like. If I'm besotted with an outfit, I want to wear it all the time. So, but that's not what this section was about. My sock knitting. You have seen the socks in the previous episode that I was already working on. I have 3 pairs finished by now, for my husband and both of my boys, and I'm more than halfway through, about 3/4 through, knitting a pair of socks for my brother, my crazy brother, so he'll like the crazy socks. This is a sock from a yarn from Rosie's Moments. I think I already introduced it in the last episode, so I don't remember the color way anymore by heart, but we'll be able to see it there. And it's got I was calling it a rainbow. It isn't a rainbow. It's got little bands of primary colors running through on the base of a dark gray. I think it's glorious. It's got a sparkle to it as well. I don't know whether that comes across on screen, but he will love these. I have just started turning the heel on the second sock. It's a top-down pattern that I'm doing, and I'm halfway through the Eye of Partridge heel flap. So by hopefully tomorrow evening, end of tomorrow evening, I'll be able to finish that second sock. And then there is just 1 pair of socks left, which is the pair of socks for boyfriend of my daughter, well, long-term relationship, so I keep referring to him as my son-in-law. And again, I am about halfway through, about halfway through on this one as well, with the first sock of the Eye of Partridge heel. This is a Regia sock yarn that comes up stripy like this. It's got all the classic kind of men's colors in it, dark blue, gray, like a jeansy blue, and then beige, stone color, and then something brownish, kind of rust brown, actually a really nice color. This is Regia 4-ply, and the colorway, specific colorway is 06029, if you are interested. Lovely. I like knitting with this Regia yarn because I know it's going to give me a pair of pretty sturdy socks at the end that's going to last, and that can go through the washing machine as well, especially if I'm giving socks to other people. I don't want to saddle them with a pair of socks that can only be hand washed. So using a yarn like this is great for that. And then I realized that actually, I think this is a pair of socks that I started about 2 years ago. I haven't knitted another stitch on these after pulling them out of my box of works in progress, but this is a sock that I started knitting, like I said, about 2 years ago from this gorgeous sock blank. Look at it. Don't even remember the name of the dyer, but look how it comes out. And I mean, this is pathetic. Look how far I got with that first sock. Have I actually started reducing yet for the... No, I have not started. Where have I? No, I have not started decreasing yet, but I must be, no, maybe another inch or so. Husband's got big feet in there for him. So maybe another inch, and then I can start decreasing for the toe. So that is going to be sock pair number 6 that I'm going to work on immediately after finishing the 2 pairs that I was working on, because it is pathetic that I haven't finished these. And I really love the effect, the way the color knits up. It's lovely, and he will adore them. He loves colorful socks. So that's going to be sock pair number 6. All of these in my beloved project bags, all from Trava and Wool. Susanna and her gorgeous re-dyed, rescued, recycled cotton fabrics, sometimes linen as well, and then embroidered on with her hand-dyed beautiful yarns. And one more bag to show you. So that's all my socks that I'm working on. And then the reason that I haven't got 5 pairs of socks ready is that I already suspected it. I have gone off rails with part of my crafting time at home. Let me show you first what I found back and what inspired going off on another crafting session of tiny shapes. I found these little hearts and a star as well, little hearts that I knitted by now a couple of years ago probably. Aren't they gorgeous? All done in my linen 3-ply on 2, I think it was 2mm needles. Lots of different colors, and then finished with a tiny little loop so it can actually be used as a little key holder or a little bag charm or something like that. Lots of different colors with the star, with the hearts, and then I've got one star here. Found a star knitting pattern that I adore with the little 5-pointed star. And then I thought, oh, if I can knit those, maybe I can find patterns to crochet them. Of course I did. What I just showed you, this finished one, I said that's got a loop on. That actually is the first crocheted one that I did. This is knitted, and then this is a little star pattern that was crocheted. And I actually like the crocheted pattern better than the knitted one, but I still found this. This was done on 2 1/4 or 2.2mm hook. I thought actually I should still go down to get a firmer fabric. So I wanted firmer, smaller stitches, and I managed that with a 1.75mm hook. So same pattern. This is 2.2mm hook. This is a 1.75mm hook. You can see how much smaller the whole thing becomes just by condensing the stitches and making it smaller, because it's following exactly the same pattern. And this is a gorgeous, nice firm fabric. This is really going to last. It's not going to catch on anything. So really like the firmness of this. So of course I kept going. I was already talking about a star here, had a star here, and I was crocheting little, just single little stars that I thought I would sew onto my Layercake dresses or trousers, different color. Then I have different shapes. I tried a couple of different crochet patterns to create different shapes. This one is a bit more open. All different stars, and I liked the dense, small, closely crocheted stars best. But then I abandoned that whole idea until now. So I thought, oh, I did those single stars. Let me find a crochet pattern for a little padded star, a little double star. So I've got that as well. Again, in the 1.75 millimeter hook. And then I thought, yeah, I still want to do more shapes. Couldn't help myself. So I've got a tiny little Christmas tree, crocheted Christmas tree. It's got a little bit squished in the bag, but it's got little branches going all the way up the side, and then a little star at the top. Then I found a different crochet pattern also for a tree, so I did a different one. Actually, this is a type of bobble stitch that was the original that this pattern was made for, was done on with very chunky wool and a very chunky hook. And you end up getting, with the same pattern, you end up getting something that's about 10 inches high. And that works really well because with the chunky yarn, these little baubles really turn into almost like little balls. So that's very effective visually. You don't get as much of a bobbly look with a linen yarn and such a small hook. But these could really pass for pine cones. The little, the bits that open and close, the little leaves, I'll call them, of pine cones, it is very reminiscent of the surface. The main thing is that this reminds me more of a pine cone than of a Christmas tree. So, lots of different shapes, still wanted to do more. And then remembered that about a year ago, maybe when I was doing this for the first time, I don't remember that bit, I bought a pattern on Etsy, I think, of a tiny little crocheted doll. My goodness, does it take a long time to crochet a little doll. Again, 1.75 millimeter hook and my 3-ply linen. But what you get, I actually wanted to finish her in time for this episode. Nope, hasn't worked. First of all, this shows you how small the hook is, 1.75 millimeter. Now don't get a shock because she's headless at the moment. I'll get her head out as well though. Her head is made. I'm really, really close in the sense that I just need to attach her head to her body and then her hair to her head. So I'm trying to hold her. Oh, and I have to crochet a scarf for her. Body, head, be down like that, of course. There she is. She's got a dress on, she's wearing underwear, she's got socks of different heights, she's got little booties. She is gorgeous. And then here, looks like a octopus almost. This is her wig, her hair. I've done all of that as well. It's going to be, of course, attached to her head like this. So if I put this here, then you get a little bit more of an idea of what her head and her hair are going to look like when they're properly down. And then her body. Isn't she gorgeous? I'm so besotted with her. I don't know whether she's going to hang from something. I don't know what I'm going to do with her at all, other than playing with her and stare at her, I think. I mean, come on. Maybe she needs a little sister. The amount of time, guys, that it takes to do one of these, I reckon easily upwards of 20 hours, maybe more like 30. I'm not the fastest either. Anyway, I love the result though. And when you buy little eyes, little toy eyes of the size that these are. They come as little pins, and then you can bend the little peg that they're on and make sure that they're properly secured and things like that. But of course you get them in bags of whatever, 50 sets of eyes or whatever for no money at all. So now I've got lots of little eyes. Yeah. Right, that was the last antique. This is the last bag that I wanted to show you, one of Susanna's bags. And I'm keeping all my new little shapes together and separate from all the knitted ones. No idea yet what's going to come next, but I can't see myself stopping with this. I was supposed to be crocheting on my Tessellation Nation blanket. Have I? Nope. I am just over the moon with this fiddly work, and I think it all has to do with the fact that we're in the run up to the end of this month, festive season, and I properly hide from the world with this kind of work. I completely go into my own little universe with it. I am tickled pink by the result of my antics, and I'm just not done yet. I have to keep going. So absolutely no knitting stitches other than the ones on the socks at the moment. I haven't started any other projects, no shawls, no jumpers, nothing. I think it's partially because I went through my wardrobe very recently to thin out a lot of stuff. I have a ridiculously large wardrobe, so I'll be listing things on eBay, and I've brought sacks full of clothes, and we're talking stuff that is like 20-30 years old. Some of the clothes that I have still from when I moved here all those years ago from the Netherlands. Anyway, enough about that. So I brought a bunch of sacks to the clothes bin that is literally across from my studio, and in it were definitely some jumpers, not hand knitted jumpers, but old jumpers that I just don't see myself doing anything else with, and I just, rather than trying to sell them, I thought it'd be nice if some of the bags that get opened by the people who have to sort and redistribute these donated clothes get some happy surprises with clothes that are really, really lovely still, rather than one step up from rags. So that process of going through all my jumpers and realizing how many jumpers I have, both knitted myself as well as bought, is insane. So I think that has put me out of my knitting fix for at least a bit in terms of jumper world. And maybe there's a jumper coming up for my husband. I know that I also have some really nice yarn from Jackie Bog, Hot Butter Yarns. I bought one of her kits last year at Farnham for a new jumper design, or a cardi, I don't remember, that I still haven't knitted. So maybe that's one of the next things I do. Definitely stuff that I already have. And maybe I can finally bring myself to finish the 2 jumpers that I definitely remember that I never finished, that you've seen on this podcast before as well. I'm ashamed that I still haven't finished those. So maybe I'll turn to those. But it being December, I just want to indulge. I want to indulge with the projects that I'm working on and really be delighted with the result of my makings, rather than be in, well, you know, ticking off projects that clearly, for whatever reason, I lost my mojo about, and then finally finishing them and then maybe end up with something else that I won't wear. So I'm not 100% sure yet. I'm sure I will report back. In the next section, in the Layercake section, I am announcing that this is the last podcast of the year. So unless I have somehow managed to get my time together to do some kind of review of the year like I've done before in terms of knitting and crochet, then from the Layercake point of view, this definitely is the last episode of the year. And somehow it feels nice to finish on a round number, episode 130. So let's just decide that that's what we're going to do. And if I do some kind of knitting and crochet review, then maybe that can be in the new year, the start of the new year, rather than the end of this year. So without further ado, on to the Joan jacket, and then your choice of slackers or breeches that are both made into double-sided, into reversible garments, including the jacket with this very super soft flannel on the inside. The pieces are available to either purchase separate or as a suit. Some of you have ordered a suit already, for which I thank you so very much, because of course orders are slowing down towards the end of the year already, and December, January are lean times for a little business like this. The second half of December I'm talking about, because of course there's always some gift giving going on. So enjoy the Layercake part of this last podcast of 2024. And I already in advance wish you a wonderful end of this year and a very happy and healthy start of 2025. Can you believe that number? Anyway, enjoy. Here it is, the Joan. And slackers first. I'm going to swap these in a minute for a pair of breeches, because this suit comes with a choice of either slackers or breeches. I love the slackers. You love the breeches. Well, some of you anyway. A lot of you like the breeches better than the slackers. Maybe it's me just having worn these drop-crotch trousers for years. I love them. Nothing better than the drop-crotch for me. But that's not for everyone, so breeches are there as well. The thing is, because this was a bit of a last-minute decision, I don't have a pair of lined breeches in Magpie. I only have breeches in, I think they're royalty or maybe dark teal, one of the two. But I'm going to swap these for the breeches, so just so that you can see the difference. You'll have to imagine that the breeches are Magpie in color, but then you'll see the difference in look between the two trouser shapes. This is the large Joan. It is for the larger size, but also for more height, because what we've done is with our shorter and smaller customers in mind, just like we do with the step top and the Gansey, because these are garments in two different sizes. The large size is wider and longer, and the shorter size is narrower but also shorter. So this is the large Joan jacket, and Joan is literally combining the joy and the Jan. So a big difference between the Jan jacket and this, the Joan, is that the Joan jacket has got a bit of flair. The Jan jacket has a straight line, but because of the extra width at the top, the whole jacket falls as if it kind of narrows towards the bottom. It doesn't, but it looks like it, and that's made more prominent with by the pockets that are in the side seams. A little bit like what we have with the easy dress, similar kind of way the garment drapes. The Joan, just like the Joy, has got no pockets because the jacket is properly double-sided. I'll show that to you now. Actually, I don't have to undo these to show this to you. I can just take it off, swap it around in the process. Like that. Pull the sleeves out. And put it on again. And now we have the lovely flannel. That is the brushed flannel. It's a fine, very fine cotton, brushed cotton. So it's a flannelly feel. It's super soft on your skin. but it also looks great, of course, worn on the outside. And it's not like the linen is scratchy, is it? So wearing the linen on the inside is really comfy as well. And then both the collar as well as the cuffs can be turned around so that of course I've been wearing it the other way around. So I could have done with flattening this a little bit with the steamer, just flattening it so it stays down better, because it's been worn with the blue side on the outside. But you get a decent idea, and we have sewn it in such a way that it doesn't roll either one or the other way. It just stands up if you don't do anything with it like this, which of course also closes it up a little bit further towards the top. And I will show you a close-up now of the colors that are in this flannel, because one of the reasons that I'm wearing the teal cocoon love top underneath is that teal is definitely one of the colors in the check. But as I promised, let me swap the long large slackers for a pair of long large breeches so that you can see the difference. And here they are, breeches in the large long size. As you can see, no drop crotch, but still very generous legs, and therefore very comfy and lovely to make into reversible trousers with this checked lining, because both of the breeches and the slackers, as well as the jacket, can be worn inside out. Of course, I will show more of that to you. So I will, just to make it make more sense to stick with the magpie look, I will change back into the magpie slackers for the rest of the episode. But at least you get an idea of how the difference looks with the jacket and a pair of breeches instead of slackers. Next outfit. One very easy way to add more color to the outfit is of course by making the cocoon outfit complete by adding a pair of the cocoon baggies, also super snuggly, to the cocoon love top, and then either wearing it like this with the check size on check color on the outside, which has got that teal in it, or we can go back to magpie on the outside. Now I keep folding up the sleeves because of course I like emphasizing that contrast of the check inside, but of course you can really play down the check with not showing much of the lapel or folding up the sleeves, and that of course is a very effective way to dress up the jacket a little bit by underplaying that check lining. So I will stick to the outfit, but I'll actually put a dress in between in dark teal to show you a bit more of a dressy outfit. I must say I really like this combination. I figured I should swap up my shoes as well if I go a little bit more dressy and then walk around with trainers on. Maybe not the best. I think in my rush to get filming, I forgot to consider my shoes at all. Just kept on what I was wearing. This I think looks a little bit better, and it's an example of a really good way to combine this lovely Joan jacket with the rest of your wardrobe. I kept on the teal cocoon baggies. I put on a size 1 regular love dress in dark teal, and then I've got the Joan jacket over the top, which of course can be worn very effectively with a little bit of that checked inside showing, or can be taken off. So you could wear this on your way to whatever engagement you have and then take it off if you get too warm once you're there, because the amount of snuggly warmth that you get from the Joan jacket will surprise you. It is 2 layers, 1 layer of mid-sized or mid-weight linen and then a layer of that very fine brushed cotton. They are really, really super comfy to wear. So back to the slackers in magpie, and showing the impact of magpie trousers and magpie jacket worn with a dress. Back in the slackers, kept the same outfit for the rest, so still the dark teal love dress in a size 1 regular. Let me just show you what that dress looks like just when worn with the magpie slackers, and then of course with the jacket we can go inside out again. By the way, ignore this label on this side of the jacket. That was just Andrea not realizing that, of course, when we have a reversible garment, the label is not going to go there, but it's going to go in a very unobtrusive place where it doesn't stand out, and you can really easily remove it if you don't want it visible at all. It's not going to be smack in the middle of your back. So same outfit, but then with check on the outside, you can really see that the check makes the outfit a little bit more everyday, a little bit less formal, and just as comfortable worn either way, like I already said. All right, let's keep playing with some more colors. Here is Sangria. Sangria love top in a size 1, worn with the slackers again, and the jacket. I've kept this side out to show it to you first. The Sangria is a perfect match for the soft red in this check. They go together really well. And of course I can swap the whole thing around again by putting the magpie side on the outside and the check back on the inside. And as you can see, immediately makes a different impression. Oh my gosh, I keep sneezing. Bear with, I've got a very I'm not getting emotional. I've got a very itchy nose. I don't know what is causing it, but something in the studio is setting me off. So, all right, we're going to try and keep going. Of course, this is just the Sangria top, but then, of course, I can add Sangria baggies as well, just like I did with the whole outfit in teal. I hope you can imagine. I'm going to move to a different top instead of the Sangria, but in the same kind of color sphere that we have recently introduced, the Crofter, which is also a wonderful combination with the Joan as well as the slackers. I decided that I did want to put on the Sangria baggies because I want to show you how close they are in color to our red crossweave. The red crossweave, of course, was one of the colors that we used for the introduction of the Crofter top very recently. And one of the reasons for showing the Crofter is that the sleeve shape of the Crofter is what we used for the sleeves of the Joan. The Crofter sleeves are a bit shorter, the Joan sleeves are a bit longer, especially to give you extra sleeve to roll up. But the rest of the shape is very similar. And of course the Crofter has got the massive pockets, which the Joan does not have. So hence a nice combination to wear them together. And then if I put the check on the outside again, I end up with a really nice, interesting, colorful yet not loud outfit. Of course, the magpie can go back on the outside. I'll do that with the next outfit because I'm going to change the cocoon baggies, keep the Crofter on, and put the magpie slackers back on. And then with the jacket, with the magpie on the outside. Crofter with magpie slackers and the... What have I got? I've got one hand in my slacker pocket and one hand in my Crofter pocket. I'm thinking, hey, that feels uneven. No wonder. And then the Joan with the beautiful magpie on the outside. I will take the Joan off to also show you what a Crofter in combination with a pair of slackers look like. This is the size 2 Crofter, which I really need Maybe not as much for my bust, but for my behind, I really need the extra space that the crofter gives me in a size 2, not just when I'm standing up, but also when my body kind of puddles out when I sit down. Keep that in mind when you're buying clothes. It's not just the way you look when you're standing up and holding everything in and looking in the mirror, but also what happens to your body when you sit down and move around, because it may behave differently from what you're expecting. It's one of the reasons that we do so many of our garments with elastic waistbands, to just be comfortable no matter what your physical position is. So, back off my ever there, always ready for me, my little soapbox that I jump on whenever it does or doesn't suit. Right. I realized that we have in some of the ready-to-ship trousers still in stock some of the high-lows in the dark blue with the wine window pane check. Those high-lows, the wool high-lows that look just phenomenal, both with magpie as well as with this check. I'm going to put a pair on to show you. The blue marl window pane high-lows in the long length, worn down, so full length. You can see how full the leg is all the way down. They don't come in as much as the breeches do, but they also don't have a drop crotch. They're a regular trouser line, and of course they've got this super interesting, different, standout from the crowd feature that you can shorten the legs in a couple of different ways. I will show you. On the inside of the leg, when you're not using them, you just end up tying them in a bow, are these long ties that you use to thread through a buttonhole that's in the bottom of the trouser. In the hem of the trouser, we've made buttonholes. So you then use one of the ties to pull through the buttonhole, tie back into a bow, do that both on the outside and the inside, and then you have turned your trousers into pretty close to a +4. +4s are a bit more like this, but you get the idea. The same kind of look, but with a less of a balloony effect and a little bit more crumpled, can be achieved if you use both the buttonholes that are in the hemline as well as the tabs that are about 8 inches from the bottom of the trousers. I will tie them up to show you that as well. So again, you take one of the ties, put it through the buttonhole at the hemline, then through the buttonhole of the tab, tie a bow. Of course, I'm having to do this with lots of ties hanging down from my Joan jacket. Well organized, as I always am, not. So going through the buttonhole at the bottom of the trousers, through the buttonhole at the tab, tie them in a bow, and I've got a slightly crumpled look, slightly less balloony, and a little bit shorter still than with option number 1. So I've got both of the lengths of the high-lows still in stock in this blue marl window pane wool, 100% wool. The difference is, of course, like with all our trousers, regular length or long length, about 4 inches different in length, but with the high-lows, the regular length also only have 1 set of pockets rather than 2. By putting 2 sets of pockets really close together, it all became too busy, didn't do any justice to the shape and the styling of the trousers. So of course we want them to look great. So we dropped one set of pockets from the regular length high-lows, but still available, still on special offer. The ready-made ones are, and they are a wonderful combination with the Magpie and the Joan. So keep going, a couple of more outfits to go. I wanted to see whether the Joan jacket can fit over the top of an easy dress. The easy dress, of course, one of our widest dress shapes. This is one of the Magpie easy dresses in the large size. So I'm comparing apples with apples, a large easy dress with a large size Joan jacket. And look at these. Of course, the sleeves of the easy dress are much wider than the sleeves of the Joan jacket, yet you don't see them bunched up because the Joan jacket sleeves are plenty wide enough to put the sleeves of the easy dress into them. I will show you that. So you can't see the sleeves at all. So if I take off the jacket and turn it inside out, then of course when I put if I just grab the bottom of the sleeve of the easy dress, then I pull them into the sleeve of the Joan jacket, and once the like armpit, the point of where the sleeve hits the dress, once that point hits the same corresponding point on the Joan jacket, then I let go of the sleeve. So I pull it in just a little bit, let go, sleeves gone into the jacket, and you don't feel them. The sleeves of the Joan jacket are so roomy that that folded up sleeve of the easy dress plenty easily fits into it. And of course now I've got the other side of the Joan jacket out and the Magpie on the inside. Now this for me is one of the big contenders as to what I will be wearing for Christmas and New Year's. I love the idea of having this tunic length dress with the matching trousers, but being really snuggly, because of course I've got the flannel side of the trousers on the inside, which actually makes me realize I haven't swapped the trousers around yet. Actually, this outfit is ideal to show you the inside of the other side. I shouldn't call it an inside because of course you can wear them both ways. And these are my own slackers that I have been wearing to complete death already. So of course you can't get to the pocket when, you know, the pocket is now here and the pockets. So when you wear them with the check on the outside, your pockets will be more difficult to get to. So that's something to keep in mind. But you do get that completely different look. And then with the hemline of the trousers being in that color again, in that same Magpie color again. I want to see this now. I haven't actually seen this. Yeah, look at it. I mean, this is so much fun to play with. So easy dress with the slackers, and those can of course just be the breeches because you still have that nice bottom blue edge on the breech hem as well. And then the Joan jacket in the size large. So it'll either be this outfit, and then if I get too warm, I can just take the Joan jacket off and wear my outfit like this, or I can wear a different outfit I'm going to show you as well. Either this one with easy dress, maybe one outfit for Christmas and the other one for New Year's. I haven't decided yet because I don't own an easy dress and I do not own a love tunic, which I'm going to show you as well. Actually, I'm going to show it to you now. No, There's one other garment that I want to show you. Getting overexcited. Right, I also want to show you the combination of a Joan jacket with a play suit, and very specifically the blue crossweave play suit, because the blue crossweave is a very similar blue as the blue that is in the check of the flannel. So again, they make a really nice combination. So I'm going to show you the play suit and then the last outfit. Play suit in the size 2 long in the blue crossweave in combination with the checked side on the outside of the Joan jacket. Now, other colors that I've recently introduced that all go beautifully with the check side especially, but they're by default also with the magpie because it's such a neutral color, but are jungle and azure. Jungle and azure are just play on those teal and blue tones in the check, and as a result look beautiful with it. So I can recommend those as well. But then also Atlantic, for example, of last year, dark teal goes really well with it. So all of those kind of tones go really well. And as a bit of an exception, I normally go for big contrast as well, and then my instinct in this case would be to grab a turmeric, for example, and combine this with turmeric, go in a completely different direction. But I've refrained from doing that. I wanted to keep it all in colors and combinations that really suit this season. So I'm going to close with one more outfit, back into the slackers with the blue on the outside and a love tunic in the silver sparkle. Here it comes. So hidden from view with the jacket closed. Let me show you those cuffs again, those contrasting cuffs. But if I open the jacket, have I actually shown the back of it and shown you how the back moves and sits? It looks like a straight jacket, but it isn't. There's a slight A-line to achieve that effect. And then the fronts are cut at a bit of an angle to create that V at the bottom, giving that really oriental kind of look and feel to the jacket that we love. And then a love tunic underneath it in the silver sparkle. I adore these. And maybe I'll finally treat myself to one, because I haven't got one of them. I'm forever showing them, but I haven't actually got one. And same goes for the easy dress. So I'm in two minds as to what I'm going to do. Either this outfit or the one I was showing with the easy dress. Of course, with this as well, I could just take the whole jacket off and then have the beautiful line of the love tunic over the top of my magpie slackers. So I hope I've inspired you. I hope that either a pair of the slackers or breeches and or a Joan jacket are for you this Christmas season, this holiday season. And I'll see you back in the new year, because this was the last one before the end of the year. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you again soon.